We're the Eagles who have denounced MAGA.
So that whole video is fantastic. Please go back and watch. I also put a duet in my stories because she makes so many fantastic points. But I want to especially point out the first one she makes. I didn't know this, but apparently the Eagles have denounced MAGA. That's 10 out of 10 in and of itself. But let's look at how they performed in the Super Bowl versus how the Chiefs performed. Someone in my comments on the last video said something about like there must be some sort of spiritual reason why. Like, why did that happen? And then Raw Cognizance sent me this video that I just stitched. And I was like, oh, that's it. I think that's it. I could not tell you which side of the political spectrum the individual players are in. If the team has its own standing, I don't really know. I do know that their head coach is Mormon, and I am an ex-Mormon living among Mormons in Utah, so it doesn't take much to guess which side of the political spectrum he falls on. Just an assumption. I don't know. This is speculation, not meant as slander or authoritarian opinion. But if we're going on the energy of this, and that's what I do, I read energies. That's a main gift I have as a psychic and as a medium. If we're going on the energy of this, and what I was talking about in the last video is about the energetic trends and how much power there is behind each energy. So let's just, for funsies, just for pretendsies, let's pretend it breaks down this way. Let's pretend that every single person on the Eagles is 100% anti-MAGA, pro-inclusion, pro-change, pro-egalitarianism, pro-equality, all the good things. Let's pretend, okay? Then let's pretend that the other team is the opposite. Again, this is not meant as slander. This is not meant as definitive. This is a thought experiment, okay? This is purely hypothetical to illustrate a point. So pretending that there is a team who one team aligns with the new energy, the new change, the momentum that's building for this new directive that we want to put into play. And there's another team who is standing with the old that is trying real hard to hold on to its power. And I know a lot of people out there are looking and they're saying, well, the majority voted for him, so clearly that's what the majority want. What have we been saying? What have we been saying in the 4am Club? That we have every reason to believe that those numbers were not accurate. Don't come at me. That's well established at this point, far outside of the 4am Club. So we believe the majority did not vote for him. The majority do not want the things that he is doing and he represents. In addition to, remember, we're seeing, MAGA regrets, leaving MAGA. All of these things are now trending as more and more people wake up, which we said would happen. The FAFO, the revelations, it's now happening at an even greater rate. So let's say that there's a team fully aligned with the new and there's so much momentum in that direction, and we had already reached a tipping point, which is what's allowing us to manifest these things now, versus a team that is aligned with the old energy, and as a collective we are withdrawing our energy from that old stuff, from the hate, from the division, the exclusivity, the misogyny, like everything old and gross that represents. So if that's how the world works, if we're all based on energy and you can align yourself with certain energies and you can withdraw your energy from certain creations, the laws of energy then state that those who are aligned with the majority drive are going to have the most power. And those who are aligned with the energies that people are pulling out of and withdrawing from, you don't have enough power to force your will, to have your outcomes stand. And that's why, as the Dreaming Women Council last week, we came together and we invited everyone to withdraw their energy from the old, from all of that chaotic, gross stuff, and to put your energy toward that which we want to see. Because we're trying to get you on board with this concept that where you withdraw your energy from, it's not using your energy to build strength. And that's precisely what we're seeing with the old pulling these massive tantrums. There's a great creator on here. I'm gonna look him up so I can tag him. He talked about all of this stuff being an extinction burst, which is when something is getting ready to expire, right before it does, right before it goes extinct, it kicks up holy hell trying to stay in place. And as a parent, I know about extinction bursts all too well, because children, as they go through different developmental stages and they're ready to outgrow one, they do a massive behavioral regression. They go back into it. It's tantrum city, it's tears, it's not sleeping, it's all the chaotic things of early motherhood. And if you can ride through that and be firm in the new, it's just like bottle weaning, weaning off a pacifier, things like that. If you can be firm and hold the line in, no, this is the new pattern. We're not doing the old thing. And I know it's hard, and I know you're mad, and I know you're screaming to get what you want and trying to assert your dominance and force your will, but we're not doing that. And you hold firm. You don't give in. You don't give your energy to it. You hold firmly in the new. Then that old will become extinct. So that's why looking at the sports teams in this thought experiment, hypothetical, I cannot stress that enough, is an interesting thing to look at, because the more you look at patterns in the world and see how they apply and fit to these different ideologies and these spiritual concepts, you can see that there's a real world basis in what we've been talking about here. There is truth to these energetic principles. So as you play with these concepts, Daily Dose of Daisy, she's being noisy. Yes, hello. Anyway, so as you play with these concepts, test them out a little bit. See if they apply to certain things in your life or out on the world stage. As I've gone through my spiritual journey and I've come across some concepts that I wasn't sure I believed, or some of it seemed great, but other parts of it I wasn't sure. Again, using my discernment to kind of critically think through different aspects and pick apart some aspects and really get into it. Ultimately, it came to the point where I was like, all right, well, let's test this one out. Let's give the old test drive and see if it holds up. A lot of things didn't, which is fine, which is why, again, discernment. But the bigger things that stuck are really what I'm seeing now that are driving the evolution. These energetic principles, everyone's out here talking about an egregore. Trump is protected by an egregore. That's partially true. Because an egregore is not just something that someone creates. Egregores are in everything. I mean, everything. Religions, ideologies, cultural likes and dislikes. Egregores are energies. And these energies are created when enough people believe and get on board with, there goes this dog. They exist because we give our thoughts, attention, and energy to them. So as you align with different egregores, you're essentially participating in that energy. You're contributing to it and you're benefiting from it. So if enough of us pull our energy out of the egregores of the old and put them toward the energies that we do want to see more of, then everything else has to align with that power. If the majority will aligns with the new, then the old has to die out.